What are kind of the emotions, 2 8-3 teams playing for the Territorial Cup this week? What do you kind of just view that opportunity as?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to have this game be played with two really good football teams. I think there's 5 teams that have 8 wins in our league. Potentially, I thought I saw something like that. Maybe there's just 6, but I thought there was 5 at this point, and 2 of them are playing in a rivalry game, and I think that's what you want. You want to play this game to matter, and it's awesome that it matters.
Chris Cartman, son of a source. Kenny, growing up locally, do you have certain memories of the Territorial Cup, either when you were a GA or earlier in your life?
I don't know if I have anything specific other than like I think about it and Thanksgiving kind of go together. Like when I think about Thanksgiving, I also think about like the Territorial Cup and that they just kind of go together. So it's almost like, the holidays, like the Territorial Cup is, you get together with your family, you eat Thanksgiving, you eat leftovers, and you watch the Territorial Cup. Let me see if this is a recruit. Let's see. Could be. No, it's my front door. Not quite. I don't know why that one was on. What's up? Oh, that's front door. Oh, I have no clue. I'm sorry, I didn't look at the video. I can't turn it off. My wife's got this security system, and I don't know how to turn off. I can turn my ringer off, but I can't turn off the front door ringer. So if somebody rings the door, it rings on my phone. It drives me nuts. If anybody knows how to fix that, it's a Control 4 system. Let me know. Shoot me a message.
And then when you were on Todd Graham's staff and, you're just young, learning the ropes, did you come to feel or think about this game from an intensity and importance standpoint differently when you were part of that staff? Anything that you recollect?
Yeah, this game, there was the rivalry in that game. Then there was like a separate rivalry on top of the actual history of the school rivalry because they both had worked together. So it was like a rivalry on rivalry. But no, this is a game. It matters to the state. Your neighbor could have gone to either school. And I think that's what makes this rivalry, fun is, people are friends with people on both sides of this rivalry, and that's what makes it so big is the relationships that are within the rivalry, right? You always want to beat your brother the best. Like when you play your brother in something, like there's nothing more. You will hear about it for a year if he beats you in one-on-one basketball. I play a random person, all right, that sucks for a week, right? But you play your brother and you're around them 24/7, you hear it all year, and it's horrible.
How you doing, Kenny? Holt, Rubino, Devil's Digest. For obvious reasons, that Twist the Knife video is making the rounds this week, something about no pity as well, too. Are you surprised that the Twist the Knife game for ASU, so to speak, only took place last Saturday, or really, with all the adversity that you guys went through, it only stands to reason that it took time to have that dominating win?
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, so it just, that phrase, I think my dad actually told us, my 12-year-old Little League team, that phrase back when he was coaching us. So that's just something kind of funny to rally behind. But and then the other phrase is just, it's all in good gamesmanship. It should have never been posted on social media. It was behind closed doors. That was our fault as a team to have that posted. But yeah, this is just an awesome, we played well at the end of last week's game, and hopefully we can build on that. They're playing very, very good football, if not, top 2 football in our league. They're playing as good a football in our league as anybody right now. And, the thing about them is they won 10 games 2 years ago. Their quarterback is the same quarterback. Their free safety, who's the most valuable player in their defense, is the same kid. Like, they have another DB who is the same starter who's been there forever. They have the core of that team is still there. So it's not a shock that they're having this amount of success. It's that same group and that same core of kids who have stayed there through and through, and they've been loyal to the program, stayed true to the program, and now they're playing really good football. And I really think it's because that core and that root of people are still there from that team, and that they're doubling down and people are rallying behind them.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Coach, we didn't see a lot of designed runs by Sims, and obviously he ran the ball so well the previous 2 games. And Colorado doesn't defend the run, and especially the quarterback run. Was there a reason you went away from that a little bit in that game?
Yeah, I think every game and every game plan is a little bit different. So I think that game plan, we felt like, the way they played defense, that we could run the ball with our running backs a little bit more. And we needed to be able to run the ball with our backs a little bit more, and that showed up in the game. Raleek obviously had an unbelievable game. So I think it was more just the game plan and what we were seeing and how we wanted to attack.
Hey, Kenny, Julia Lopez, Arizona's family. How do you balance the emotions for these guys? Obviously, it's going to be an emotional game, a lot riding on the line. Just do you say anything to them to keep them a little bit more balanced, or do you like them getting up for this game?
I mean, it's a one-game season. That's what I told him in the locker room after Colorado was, this is a one-game season. And we finished the regular season 8-3. We get a bonus game right here, and then whatever's after that. But that's how I view it. And so I think our guys are excited. It sucks that we got in at 2:30 a.m. On a short week. It's because we still gave the guys off on pretty much Sunday just because of getting in at 2:30. You don't want to really bring those guys back up and practice. So I told them, we're probably behind a day on them based off the scheduling, already on a short week. So our backs are against the wall. They're playing as good a football as anybody in our league right now. They've got a veteran quarterback. They've got 2 veteran DBs. Their D-line's playing great, probably the best secondary we've played all year. They're number 2 in the country in pass defense. We better come ready to play because it's a good football team.
Kenny, Bob McManaman, Republic. You had 36 hours or so to digest that game, and talk to me about Raleek and just everything he did do, and where it ranks in your mind with all the other people you've seen.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great to see him get loose. We talked about having explosive runs, and to see him have a few explosive runs in the game was critical for us, changed the game. His run at the end of the half and run at the beginning of the fourth quarter really changed the entire dynamic of the game. So hopefully, we can create explosives and continue to create those explosives. And for Raleek, it's awesome to see him have success. The dude's got so much energy and passion, and he does it in his own unique way. But he is awesome to coach. He's a blast to coach.
Is he any kind of reminiscent to Eno or Cam, and what do you expect he can do for you this week?
No, I think he's more in Coach Kenny Gainwell back at Memphis. And he kind of reminds me of him a little bit. He's stockier than people give him credit for, stronger than people give him credit for, good pass catcher out of the backfield, can become explosive. That was kind of Kenny's game, who was drafted by the Eagles. And that's kind of what Raleek, who he kind of reminds me of.
Hey, Coach, in the back, Craig Fouy, ABC 15. Hey, you talked about how good Arizona is. Have you run into many teams that are plus 148 in point differential, the way they're scoring and holding teams to not many points?
Yeah, they're playing as good a football as anybody in our league, like I said. And I truly believe it's that core of guys, that have stayed there, over the last 3 years and saw the ultimate success and saw an outlier in last year, and then they're back to where they were in the team they were a couple of years ago. And I really think it's those guys, Genesis and Stokes and Stokes, and then obviously, self-explanatory, when your quarterback is back again and he's a high-level player. So I think there's just a core there that has really established something, and they wanted to be there, they wanted to stay there, and I think that core of people has really brought out the best of that football team, and those are their best players, and it's kind of fun, even though you don't, it's your rival and stuff like that. It's fun to watch guys kind of stick through something and then come out on the other end and have an unbelievable season.
A quick follow-up on that. There is a lot of animosity between the two schools. In years past, coaches have talked to fans during the week just saying, hey, tone it down a bit. Do you have any message to fans in terms of getting into this game this week?
Oh, it's a rivalry game, man. People are going to get fiery. They're going to get feisty. It should be. It's a matter of doing that in a respectful way. You can be intense and fiery and get after it, right? That's what it should be. We're not going into our locker room and saying, we like these, let's everybody, yay. No, this is a rivalry game. It's on, right? But you can do it in a respectful manner. You can want to compete at the highest level and respect your opponent. And I respect these guys. I respect the players that are on this team because what I've said before, they've stuck through it, and it's a fun thing to watch those guys, from the other side have the success they're having this year. I mean, Noah's playing as good as anybody quarterback in the country right now. He really is. And it's a very challenging task. That back end is playing as good as literally any back end in the country. They're second to Ohio State in yards per pass given up. So they're playing. I mean, Coach Gonzalez knows everything about both sides of the rivalry. He could come up here and say every good stat for ASU, come up there and say every good stat for Arizona. Like he's a walking Arizona encyclopedia. Eventually needs to coach at Northern Arizona, right? So he can just be the king of the state, right? But he's done a phenomenal job. Coach Dodge has done a phenomenal job on the offensive side of the ball. So they've just done a really good job as a staff this year and as a team.
Hey, Kenny, Jordan Ham, Sports 360 AZ. This ASU offense hasn't scored a touchdown in the first quarter since week 1. What do you attribute that to? They're just not being able to find the end zone early.
Well, one, we always defer, so that, we're probably going to get average a possession, half to 2 possessions. And then 2, we're not playing great on offense. Point blank. The offense has been a disappointment this year for the most part. It hasn't been firing on all cylinders for one way or another. We haven't clicked. Especially early in games, we haven't clicked. And it's not even the ability to drive the football. Most games we've been driving the football pretty consistently. It's, making one mistake, which stops us. Last game, early in the game, we didn't drive the football. That was the bad part about last game is the 3-and-out rate. It's one thing when you move the ball and you get stalled because of a TFL or a penalty. Early in last week's game, we didn't move the ball at all, and that was my frustration. But hopefully we get back on track and we can start a little bit faster this week.
Kenny, back to the fans real quick. What does it mean to have another sellout at home?
I mean, we sold out the entire season. I said it before. I mean, our fans have been unbelievable this year. I mean, activating the Valley from that perspective is 100% all in. The casual fan, it's unreal. I don't think it's ever been done in the history. And okay, the stadium shrunk. I get all of it. Okay, cool. Well, we can't not shrink it, so I don't know what to tell you, right? But it's never been sold out before for an entire year, and that's unbelievable. I mean, that's the first step. Like I said, the buy-in from the community is an essential piece in winning in college football. Not just because the money behind it, people are going to show up to the games, and student athletes, players are going to say, "Oh my gosh, this place is awesome," and you're going to sign better players. So it's so important in this day and age for multiple reasons, and I just think people should get behind. If people can get behind us, and hopefully we continue to progress. Like I said, it's not always going to be perfect. We're going to win games. We're going to lose games. Hopefully we win a lot more than we lose. But if we can stay with us through the whole process, I think we're just going to build and build and build and build and ups and downs. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a really fun place to come watch football games for a long time.
And then, Kenny, quick follow. Do you have an early memory of this rivalry, like when you first learned about it, like way back in the day?
To be honest, I don't. I'm horrible at early memories. My mom is like, "Why did I take you to all those places? You don't remember anything." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't." I'm horrible with the early memory thing. I just, like I said, I would just say Turkey, Thanksgiving, and the rivalry game. I would say that's my early memory, and then painting the A. I would say when people used to drive by it, and I used to see the A painted, and my dad would explain kind of what was going on, and they're trying to paint the A, we're trying to paint the A. I think that was probably, that's a rivalry, we're protecting the A. I think that was something that I kind of remember.
Hi, Kenny. Max Pitt, World Crockett Sports Network. Speaking of people who've lived both sides of the rivalry and have mentioned that this is a one-game season, fewer people on your staff have lived this rivalry more than Vince Amy. I spoke with him a couple weeks ago, and he addressed not only how he's talked about this being a one-game season, that he's played here, coached there, is now coaching here. For you, what has he meant to this room with just so many veterans and so many people who are going to be playing their final game here? And he mentioned how he doesn't know what his emotions are going to be like on Friday with all these guys playing their final game in this building. And what has he meant to you to have kind of the perspective of this rivalry, having been here for so long and then obviously been there?
Yeah, he's been awesome. His passion for this place is as good as anybody, that I know. And he absolutely loves this place, loves this school. He owes a lot of, his life and his success in life to this place, and he'll say it out loud. So I think, he's an emotional guy like myself. So I think his emotions will show because he's an emotional guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And, these seniors were a big part of our program change from, where we were 3 years ago. I would say that's kind of like two completely different groups of seniors. They've got a group of older leaders that, had that success and were very successful, and they're still there leading and being successful. Our guys showed up and they had to figure it out how to change the dynamic, and they kind of changed it, and now they're coming to an end. So I think it's really cool to have two different programs with seniors that, the places truly matter to them, and it's really fun to see our guys get to go out there in their last game knowing that they took this place from there's 30,000 fans in that stadium to sold out all their senior year. That's unbelievable. They saw the transition for those seniors, and I think that's something that not everybody can say. They were a part of a complete change of an organization. I think these seniors can say that.
And quick follow-up to that, when you were an infant when he was playing here in the mid-'90s and going through all those glory days, what stories maybe did he tell you about just maybe those times and having maybe the rivalry and what it was like maybe back then?
Not many, but on that, my father-in-law delivered his twins, so that's a random thought for you.
Hey, Kenny, Damon Allred, Arizona Sports. We heard a lot about the pregame speech Jordan Tyson gave on Saturday. A few weeks ago, he mentioned to us in the scrum that he wanted to be more outspoken with the team, but that he wasn't, and he wasn't sure why. What do you think changed over those few weeks and inspired him to do that?
Yeah, I think he just realized how much he appreciates his teammates. I mean, when he was sitting out and he's like, man, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play. And then he gets to everybody tell him, oh, I think he's not trying to play on purpose, right? He hears all that noise and he's like, no, I want to play. Why do all these people think I don't want to play? I want to play. Like, I'm doing everything I can to play for these guys. And I think that emotion just kind of got to him. He's like, I want to make sure these guys know this isn't about me. I'm playing because I want to play with you guys. Like, this is a team, and I want to do whatever I can to be on the field with you guys for as many games as I have left. And it's just pretty cool to see his maturity and growth over the last few years is pretty special. I think that capped it off.
And then quick follow, were there any conversations that you had with him about how to go about that?
Not at all. He just told me we pray, and then we usually give a speech. And right before prayer, he's like, Coach, I want to talk to the team. And I'm like, go for it. It's pretty cool.
Kenny, over the past couple of years you've been here, the rivalry has kind of gone one direction or the other. First year, U of A won in blowout fashion. Last year, you guys went in blowout fashion. You expecting this one to be a little bit closer?
Yeah, hopefully we don't get blown out.
And then, like you said, the sellout environment all season. But with this being the rivalry game and at home, are you expecting it to be even louder? Just what are you expecting the energy?
Oh, yeah, I'm expecting this place to be rocking. Absolutely rocking. Unfortunately, there's going to be some other colors in there, too, because a lot of their fans live up here as well. But I want this place to be rocking. I mean, this should be one of the best environments in college football this weekend. Absolutely one of the best. And you got two really, really good football teams playing in a rivalry game with, a lot of guys who are passionate about their schools on both sides of the ball. This is what you want rivalry games to be. You want them to be this.
Hey, Coach Ryan Myers, Devil's Digest. We've seen UConn basketball coach Dan Hurley talk about how he's making his players eat turkey on Wednesday, so not super sluggish on Thursday before their games or whatever on Friday. With it being a short week for you guys, what does this look like for you having Thanksgiving in the mix and also having to prepare for a game on Friday?
Yeah, so obviously, you would have liked, if we were, we're here, something in the afternoon on Saturday, could have woken up, lifted, staff could have put together a plan, could have gotten back up on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, introduced the plan, practice Monday, Tuesday. With us getting back at late, we kind of lost that day. It's either sleep or kind of cram and go. And I don't think, I've never been a believer in cramming and not resting your players after games. So tonight we'll come in and have our meetings. We'll have a turkey dinner tonight, because we always have a winner dinner. If we win a game, we have a good little dinner up there. I think last week was I don't know what it was. What's it called when the joisters on horses? what's it called? That's Castle Night or something like that. Well, yeah, medieval. That's it. It was like a medieval times theme last Sunday or last Monday. This week I said let's do Thanksgiving dinner for everybody, just because that's a 2-for-1. All the guys come up here, have Thanksgiving dinner before our meetings, and then we'll have a normal Tuesday. We'll have a half practice on Wednesday, a walk through Thursday, and go play Friday. So we just cut out really our Fast Friday as part of our week. So it's not a huge deal, because all we did was cut out Fast Friday, but we potentially would have done it, or we would have done it a little bit different. I had another schedule planned based off different kick times and different situations. So that's where we landed.
Hey, Coach. Luke Lumner, Sun Devil Source. You mentioned growing up in this rivalry associated with Thanksgiving, how much it might mean to you. A lot of these guys on your team aren't from Arizona, but last year we saw how much it meant to them. What do you attribute that sudden passion and love for this game to?
I think just the passion they have for this place. You have guys in our team going to volleyball games, the back-to-back Big 12 champion, right? ASU volleyball team, right? And we're going out to games. And I'm showing up, and all of a sudden I see like 12 of our players or 6 of our players in there watching games. That's awesome. So I think what do I attribute it to is our players love it here. I think the majority of our team loves it here. The majority of our team is truly a Sun Devil. Like they're going to come back, and like Cam's doing, and they're going to celebrate, and they're going to be at this rivalry game in the future. Like this is what they want to be a part of. So I think it's just one of those things.
You talk about Scadaboo coming back for the game on Saturday. Anything you've told your guys about him coming back, maybe guys who didn't play with him last year?
I haven't really mentioned it to the guys yet, but he's fired up. I'm fired up. It's what college football is supposed to be. You should graduate from a school and have a passion about that place and come back to that place and feel like you're at home. And for him to be able to come back, he's going to feel like he's at home, and it's just awesome.
Not to get too far ahead, but you did a great job last year retaining your roster, and you've talked about the importance of that to what you're trying to build. And so the Levitt situation notwithstanding, how do you feel about how well positioned that you are to return the players that you want next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a good spot. I think for me, it's always about we want dudes who want to be at ASU. And I've said that before. I feel like we're in a good spot to be able to get that accomplished. The guys who truly want to be here, the guys that are all in on being at ASU, the guys who believe we can help them achieve what they want to achieve and believe this is the best place for them and that we're going to take care of them, I think we're going to have a really, really good chance to keep those guys here. And then I think we're going to have the ability to go attract a lot of really good players as well. I mean, when you're selling out crowds, when you have investment from the school, and when you have some of these things, I think it positions us really, really well to be, a destination for some of these guys.
Kenny, aside from Scat, are you having any other former players come in leading into the game to talk to the team?
No, I'm probably going to have, Key doesn't even know it yet, but I'm probably going to have Coach Amy talk to the team just because obviously he's somebody our guys know and respect, and I haven't had him speak about this rivalry yet in the last 2 years, so I'm probably going to let him say something.
Kenny, non-football question here. Did you see Marley's shot the other day?
Oh, yeah, that was unbelievable. That was a great shot. That was unbelievable. I was like, yep, that was really good. So on that note, I know on Saturday we have, games in the morning. I know we have hockey in the afternoon. And then we have, obviously the Territorial Cup at night. I mean, Black Friday. I mean, I don't know if there's a better place to be than, out here. Get out here, in the morning, get to the hockey game, come to our game, and it should be a fun Friday. Awesome. Thank you. Go Devils.